everybody. So little Miss Jackie is sleeping. So all you guys that are out there who are self-isolating yourself, or whatever you call it, quarantining. I'm actually in quarantine. So I have until Saturday that I have to stay here in Atlanta. Luckily, little Miss Baby Jackie came with me on my cruise. It was a 17-day cruise. It started out in Fort Lauderdale and was supposed to end in Savona, Italy. We were told 8 hours before we boarded that we would actually be ending in Marseille, France, which we actually ended up still deboarding, or whatever you call it, disembarking in Marseille. But if you followed my journey, it was quite the journey, and she is very tired. She's like, okay, I have had enough of this whole vacation thing. I'm sleepy. So she is very worn out from our journey. On the evacuation or rescue of our cruise ship, we ended up with 9 medical emergencies that I had to treat on board of an airplane. I basically had to take over an airplane because we were having so many medical emergencies all at once. So when I got back into Atlanta from France, I collapsed at the airport, unable to move or talk or complete sentences. So little baby Jackie has had quite the journey. We are stuck in Atlanta with absolutely with nothing to do. So we are confined to our room. But she is sleepy. She's very, very sleepy. And she is, you guys actually got to vote on which baby got to go with me on the cruise before I actually left on the cruise. So she won. And we found out today that Delta found my luggage. Yay! So her clothes and her belly plate have been found, and they are on their way back to my house, which is amazing because my clothes and her belly plate and her clothes will actually beat me to the house. They're actually should be delivered today, but as you can tell, she is amazing. She is the Jack sculpt. And she is absolutely perfect. I'll actually show you her little fingers. So her hands are, she's probably one of my favorite painted dolls. If you can kind of see her fingers. So she's got amazing details. So she really is quite the little bundle. And she's been great to keep me company. She actually did not get out of the cabin on the cruise except for one time where I went out at like 1 o'clock in the morning and took her out just because I was like scared of being in my room. But she really didn't come out of the room that much. But the really cute thing is my steward, my cabin steward, John, he actually would tuck her into bed every night. So when he would do my room in the mornings, he would change her, like he wouldn't change her clothes. He would change her position, but he would tuck her into the covers so that she was all tucked in when I got back, which was the most adorable thing ever because he was probably like, I don't know, probably in his early 20s. So I'm sure he was like, okay, why is this lady got like a baby doll on a 17-day cruise to Europe instead of her husband? Jackie was a little more brave than my husband was. So she actually did quite well on the cruise. My husband probably would have probably been really motion sick. He actually didn't go, not because of the COVID-19 scare, but he didn't go because he was afraid he'd get motion sickness being on the water. Probably crossing the Atlantic, it was kind of rough, even though I guess for crossing the Atlantic it wasn't that rough, but we had a lot of motion. But that's little Jackie, and she's just, oh dude, she's so cute. She's like one of the best sculpts, I think. her little face is just amazing. But I just thought I would show her, you guys. She hasn't gotten to cuddle too much. Things have been so wild with this whole cruise thing that I hadn't gotten to cuddle. Things were just too chaotic to cuddle too much. And now that I found out that her belly plate is safe, and my luggage is safe, I'm kind of excited. And I'm so far safe, so I am presumptive positive for COVID-19, so I was exposed greatly to many passengers that have tested positive, one of which has died that came home from, that was on the plane with us, so I'm in quarantine. Baby Jackie's in quarantine. She is beautiful. Sonia, she's like the most amazing baby. Like, seriously, I think she's probably, out of all of my babies, she's probably the most realistic, I think. So she has painted hair, and she also has rooted hair. So she's just like, and her mouth is like, here, take off your little pinky. So she's got